Imagine you are born into a world without fear, a secluded island paradise where the sun is warm, the fruit is plentiful, and the concept of a predator is completely unknown. You are a dodo. Your life is one of serene simplicity. You wander through the lush forests of Mauritius, a large flightless bird, content in a world that seems perfectly designed for you. You have no enemies, no need for haste, no reason for alarm. You are a living testament to the beauty of evolution in isolation. But you are born at the wrong time. You are born on the very cusp of an apocalypse you cannot comprehend. Your peaceful existence is a fragile dream, about to be shattered by a force you are utterly unprepared for. To be born a dodo is to be born innocent and trusting, in a world that is about to become cruel and unforgiving. It is to be the first and perhaps most famous victim of humanity's destructive march across the globe. Chapter 1. A life without fear, a world without defense. For millions of years, your island was a sanctuary. No large land predators ever reached its shores. As a result, you and the other native creatures evolved in a state of perfect, blissful ignorance. The instinct of fear, so crucial for survival elsewhere, was never written into your genetic code. You had no need to fly, so your wings became small, vestigial nubs. You had no need to run, so your body became large and slow. You were not stupid, as the history written by your destroyers would later claim. You were simply a product of a gentle world. Your trust was not a flaw, it was a reflection of the paradise you inhabited. This lack of fear was your greatest inheritance, and it would become your fatal, inescapable doom. Chapter 2. The Arrival of the New Gods. Then, one day, the gods arrived. They came from beyond the horizon on massive floating vessels, their skin pale and their voices strange. They were the first humans to set foot on your island. To you, they were not a threat. They were just another strange new creature in your peaceful world. You did not run. You had no reason to. You may have waddled towards them with a gentle curiosity, your large, trusting eyes trying to make sense of these new visitors. This was your first mistake, an error born of an innocence you could not have known was a liability. You greeted your executioners with the simple, open heart of a creature that had never known a monster. Chapter 3. The Myth of the Foolish Bird. The humans who found you were sailors, hungry and far from home. They saw you not as a wonder of evolution, but as an easy meal. Your lack of fear was not seen as a sign of your unique evolutionary path, but as proof of your stupidity. They could simply walk up to you and kill you. And so, the myth was born. In the journals and stories of these sailors, you were painted as a clumsy, foolish, and dim-witted bird. The very name Dodo, possibly derived from a Dutch or Portuguese word for fool or sluggard, became your eternal brand. Your executioners wrote your history, and they wrote it in a way that absolved them of their guilt. They did not destroy a unique and trusting creature. They simply disposed of a stupid one. The killing was not a desperate act of survival for the humans. It was a matter of pure convenience. You were a walking, trusting source of food that required no effort to hunt. The sailors and colonists who arrived on your island slaughtered you in great numbers. But it wasn't just them. They brought with them their own silent, four-legged assassins, dogs, cats, pigs, and rats. These creatures, for whom predation was a way of life, were unleashed upon your defenseless paradise. They were a nightmare you could not have imagined. They hunted the adults, and even more devastatingly, they devoured the eggs you laid in your vulnerable ground-level nests. Chapter 5. An Apocalypse in a Single Lifetime. The end came with breathtaking speed. In less than 100 years from the moment the first humans set foot on your island, your entire species was wiped from the face of the earth. An evolutionary story that had taken millions of years to write was erased in the span of a single human lifetime. Imagine being one of the last dodos. You would have witnessed a world you once knew as safe and peaceful turn into a living hell. You would have seen your kind, once numerous, dwindle to a few scattered, terrified individuals. The forest, once a place of quiet contentment, would now be a place of constant, unfamiliar danger. You would be the last of your kind, a lonely ghost in your own home, haunted by the memory of a world that was gone forever. Chapter 6. The second death, the loss of your body. Your extinction was so swift and so absolute that humanity barely even bothered to preserve your memory. There are no complete, perfectly preserved dodo skeletons from a single individual. The few specimens that were brought back to Europe were poorly kept. The last stuffed dodo at the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford was allowed to decay until, in 1755, it was ordered to be burned. A museum worker, in a moment of foresight, saved only the head and a foot. You died once in the forests of Mauritius, and then you died a second time in the careless archives of humanity. We erased you from the world, and then we carelessly erased the evidence of your existence. Chapter 7. A Ghost in the Human Conscience. But your story did not end there. In a strange twist of fate, you achieved a new kind of immortality. You became a symbol. You became the poster child for extinction, a ghost that would forever haunt the human conscience. Your name, once a synonym for stupidity, became a synonym for a tragic, irreversible loss. You became a character in stories, a cautionary tale told to children, a constant nagging reminder of humanity's capacity for thoughtless destruction. You became more famous in death than you ever were in life. Chapter 8. The Burden of a Cautionary Tale. This fame, however, is a heavy burden. You are not remembered for what you were, a unique, peaceful bird, a masterpiece of island evolution. You are remembered for what you represent, a failure, a mistake, a warning. Your legacy is not your own. It is a story that humans tell themselves to feel a pang of guilt before they continue on their destructive path. You are a convenient symbol of a lesson we claim to have learned, but one we continue to ignore every single day as other species slide towards the same abyss you fell into. To be a dodo is to be forever a lesson, but never the student. Chapter 9. A Memory. Pieced together from fragments. Who were you, really? We can never truly know. We piece you together from fragmented bones, from the conflicting and often contemptuous drawings of 17th-century sailors, and from your living relatives like the pigeon. Your true voice is lost to time. We can speculate about your behavior, your social life, your intelligence, but we will never hear your call, we will never see your courtship dance, we will never understand the world as you saw it. You are a puzzle with most of the pieces missing, a story with the most important chapters torn out. Chapter 10. The Final Irony. The Wish to Bring You Back. And now, in the ultimate act of hubris and regret, the same species that destroyed you now dreams of bringing you back. Scientists talk of de-extinction, of using fragments of your DNA to resurrect your kind. But even if they succeed, what would they be bringing back? A creature born in a lab, a ghost without a home, an orphan in a world that is no longer the paradise you knew. Would it be an act of redemption, or the final, most selfish act of all, humanity playing God to soothe its own guilty conscience? To be a dodo is to be a creature so profoundly wronged that even our attempts to fix our mistake may be just another form of violation. Ending. The echo of a forgotten bird. So, what does it mean to be born as a dodo? It means to be born into a paradise on the eve of its destruction. It means to have your trust and innocence be the cause of your own annihilation. It means to be erased from the world, only to be reborn as a symbol of your destroyer's guilt. It means to be a ghost, a memory, a cautionary tale that the world keeps telling but never truly learns from. Perhaps that is why to be born a dodo is the ultimate tragic fate. Your story is not just about extinction. It is about the profound and irreversible tragedy of a world that was lost forever, and the heavy, silent echo of a gentle bird that will never walk the earth again.